Hello and welcome to PAC Talk, your source for all the information you need to make your farming operation successful in today's agricultural landscape. I'm Chris Kreifels, VP of Technology here at Progressive Ag Co-op, and I'm joined today by Rusty Morehead, our CEO of Progressive Ag Co-op. Thanks for being here with us, Rusty.
I appreciate it, Chris. Glad to be here.
Rusty's going to be a regular on our show, and before we really dive into today's topic, let's hear a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the patrons who may not have gotten a chance to meet you with all the COVID stuff that's happening.
That sounds good. Number one, I'd like to thank you for putting this PAC Talk web series thing together. Something new for Progressive Ag Co-op. Obviously, with social media and all that stuff today, trying some new things, trying to give our producers some information and ideas of what are going on within the cooperative here every day. I really appreciate you putting this together. A little bit about myself. Obviously, my name is Rusty Morehead. I grew up in a small town, Fairbury, Nebraska, which is right on the Kansas-Nebraska line, south central, southeast Nebraska there. Went to school at Fairbury, graduated high school back in 1999. So after high school, went to Southeast Community College in Beatrice, Nebraska. Got my associate's degree there in ag business, and then went to work for a few years in a swine facility, and then back to feedlots. So did that for a few years. Figured out that probably wasn't really what I wanted to do. Took the time and went back to Kansas State University, where I got my degree in animal science, and trying to figure things out there, kind of what my future and what I wanted to do. Actually got to talking with Bartlett Grain Company and went to work for Bartlett Grain Company in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, in the town of Boise City. So I went to work as a location manager trainee out there. Worked there for a year and a half, and then moved to Walsh, Colorado, where I actually started as a location manager for Bartlett Grain Company. Worked there for a few years, and in that time frame, me and my wife had two boys. Decided we wanted to move closer to home and get the kids closer to their grandparents. So took a job with United Farmers Co-op out of Waco, Nebraska, as a location manager for them. Did that for a few years. As I gained experience and knowledge, I actually had the opportunity to become a grain originator and take care of the Eastern Territory for United Farmers Co-op, which was kind of their whole territory, 81 East. Learned a lot in that role, and did some different things there to help better my tool, or put more tools in my pocket and gain some knowledge. So did that for a couple years, and then I had an opportunity with Aurora Co-op to become a merchandiser / originator for a little bigger territory for them. Went to work there for a year, and at that time, Central Valley Ag had an opportunity to come up as a regional manager down in real close to where my folks were and my wife's folks were. So took that job. Was there for 5 years before coming here to Progressive Ag Co-op as a general manager. So real quick rundown of what
Absolutely.
A little bit about me and how I got here, I guess, Chris. So.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you've had experience both in private grain elevators as well as cooperative systems. And what has been your experience? What have you gained from working both? What's your preference?
Good question. Yeah, I got to work for the private in Bartlett Grain Company, and then moving to the cooperative here. Obviously, the cooperative system kind of fits my style, my beliefs, and my culture maybe a little better than the privates do. But the nice part about it was I got to see a little bit of both. You know, how the privates make money, how they do their business, and how they strive for profits. And then working with the cooperative system, kind of the same thing, but more for the producer side of it, and reinvesting into the producers and their operations. So got to see both sides. It's been great. Actually been able to implement some different things, maybe that the old co-op systems wouldn't do, just because it wasn't the norm or whatever. So throwing some of them private ideas into the cooperative system to give back to our producers been an advantage. Also got to work with a lot of good people, both on the private side and the cooperative side. I have to give credit to a lot of my predecessors and my supervisors and bosses coming up through. I've been lucky enough to where they've given me a lot of knowledge and helped me get to where I am today. So I'm working with some very smart, intelligent people that were willing to teach and give a guy a chance. So it's been great.
So it's no secret that the economic situation of today's grower is not where we all wish it was. Both cooperatives and the ag business in general, as well as our growers, are in kind of survival mode as we enter into next year's crops and thinking about how we're going to do that. So what kind of approach are we going to look for, both in the cooperative and from the farmer or the grower, that will change our mindset from that surviving mindset to actually thriving?
That's a real good question. Yeah, as we all know, the ag economics today are a little bit tough. Commodity prices are low, which is definitely hurting. Obviously, we know in this part of Kansas, it can get relatively dry and sometimes struggle to see the yield. So this wheat harvest, we were really lucky that we had the yields we did, which made everybody have a better chance of profitability. But the economics moving forward are just going to continue to get tougher and tougher, especially if commodity prices stay where they are. We have to be ready and prepared to give our people and our producers what they need to become profitable. We think when we talk a lot about things that we've done in the past, changing a few things here and there, being more competitive in our chemical pricing and fertilizer pricing, doing a great job in the application, just delivering the service they need. So I think it kind of starts there. Information is a big one too. We talk about having our producers understand their cost of production and where they need to be, kind of where they need to start marketing things. And that starts from how do you figure out a cost of production, knowing your seed costs, knowing your fertilizer costs, knowing your chemical costs, equipment costs, and down the line. So if we can help our producers identify what those will be, help them get competitive products, give them competitive services, identify that cost of production, give them the information, the tools they need to set marketing goals or put offers out there to when it hits, they start laying off profitable sales, which will help their operation become profitable in the future and help them sustain themselves until things get good again. And even when they're good, watch the cost, do the same thing. I guess kind of training. We're training producers and help them be successful. So that's the goals.
Yeah, and we go at this at a partnership level because at its core, the cooperative system relies on its patrons, and the patrons rely on the cooperative both to ensure that both parties succeed. In fact, we've made it our vision, and we've developed our vision and mission statements, which you've probably seen on our social media and on our website recently. And our vision statement is just that: to build successful partnerships with our patrons, our employees, and all we do business with, to ensure that both Progressive Ag Co-op and our patrons' businesses are sustainable in this ever-changing agricultural landscape. So partnership is really the theme we have moving forward with Progressive Ag Co-op. If you were to look and say from January when you came through now, I would say the most used word in Progressive Ag Co-op has been partnership. And it's not just between the cooperative and our growers. We're diving deep into our strategic partners as well.
Absolutely. And you think about that side too, and I think of partnerships just like the vision says. It's our growers, it's the others we do business with, our agronomic partners, our grain partners, CEA. I think CEA does a great job giving our area and our producers a fair, probably one of the better prices they can get for their grain. I think they're as competitive as anybody out there. They do a great job. We offer some tools out there as far as offers, information and that sort of thing to give our producers some advantage. Obviously, we all know we got some competition in the area that's pretty tough. We got some train loaders and this and that. Makes it very hard for truck houses like we have to compete. I think CA does a great job of allowing us to compete. And just like we have going on right now, the incentive programs and different ideas, we can do for our people to give them better opportunities to be profitable. Also think of it from a partnership on our employee side. We talk a lot about our patrons, the others we do business with, but our employees. We want Progressive Ag Co-op to be a place where our employees can come to work, be successful, have families, and build a life to where they can retire, go home, and be proud of what they've done. So I really think today Progressive Ag Co-op's there. We got a dang good employee group that wants the producers to succeed, and we'll continue to look for good people to do that too. So partnership's a great word. I think the board of directors, myself, when we were looking at our vision and our mission statements, that was one that just kept coming out. We got to be partners. We want to be partners. And what do partners do? They help ensure that both sides are successful. So that's kind of where we get through that whole thing.
Right, and that ties into our mission statement, which is really how we plan to achieve that vision. And that is just providing trusted leadership, that specialized knowledge, and that quality service every time.
Yep. Training is going to be a big piece, and that's something you asked me a little while ago about, what are we going to do different to make sure we can go from surviving to thriving. I think giving our employees some training opportunities to make them better, which makes them more valuable for our producers, which in turn makes our producers' operations more successful. So it's kind of twofold. Just turning things around. It's a circle, the whole co-op circles, where it just keeps coming around and around, and trying to give everybody what we need to help each other out. So,
and we're hopeful that our producers, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this series, is that we can get that specialized knowledge we have out to our producers, whether it's and from start to finish when we go into these, from soil fertility to seed to crop protection to getting it in the bin, harvesting, marketing that grain, and making it as profitable as we can.
Yep. And we got some work to do in all those areas to get better. We're not sitting out here, and I'm not going to sit up here and say we're perfect in all these areas today.
Right.
We know we're not, but we are going to work hard to get there, and we're going to work hard to find people that will help us get there. We want our producers to be proud to come to Progressive Ag Co-op to do business, and they know they're going to get the services and the products they need to be, and at a competitive price.
Absolutely.
When I say competitive price, I'm not saying the cheapest, but I'm saying a competitive price to know, hey, they're going to treat us fair. They're looking out for our well-being and our best interest, and that's how we're going to do business going forward. So,
absolutely. So we've talked about our partnerships. We've talked about a little bit about your background and working in that co-op system and what we're doing to kind of change everybody's mindset, not just the cooperatives, but producers to move into that thriving stage. And we'll talk again in a few episodes about planning for next year as far as chemicals and our crops for next year, and getting that planning going in the winter time once we get past wheat sowing and get into that harvest time and get past the things we need to look at, and then we can start moving forward. And again, we'll talk again, but is there anything exciting coming up for Progressive Ag Co-op, something you're excited about that we're going to really try and do to help our patrons?
Everything's changing so fast, and we've done a lot in the last 8 months to change a lot of things. We've been really doing a deep dive into our expenses. Where can we save money? How can we do things? What are we not doing right? Efficiencies. What can we do with our equipment, our people, our machines, our facilities to make it better, save us money, and be able to return those dollars instead of a cost, turn them into money we can put back into our facilities to help our partner with our producers and make the facilities better for their operations. So been doing a lot of that in the last 7 to 8 months. We are going to continue to focus on that. We never want to get complacent, I guess, and say, hey, we're there. We're always going to continue to look and challenge our teammates to come up with ideas. How do we get better and do those kind of things? We talked about agronomy. We're going to push to find, continue to identify partners that will help us get to where we want to go. And obviously where we want to go is the profitability for our producers. So, competitive pricing, precision ag's a big one. I think Progressive Ag in the past has done a little bit with precision ag. Probably is kind of, slowed down or maybe been put on the back burner a little bit. We're going to try to get back into that because I really feel precision ag's a spot. Our producers really need to look. When we start looking at from soil samples to putting product on the right acre and them kind of things, instead of in tough times and economics are tight, money's tight, and that kind of stuff, we skip that to the bottom. I think it needs to probably be brought more to the forefront and brought to the top. That way, you're putting the right product on the right acre to maximize yield on the acres you have, and which in the long run gets you more product to market. Absolutely. At a higher price, hopefully that we're hoping we can help you with, and then puts more money in the bank and helps you add on to your operation, grow, and do those kind of things. So I am excited about that. We're going to push the agronomy department probably a little more than we have in the past. I think it's one opportunity and one place we really can grow. So that's the one spot, I guess, if I'm looking today, that's probably the spot I'd say I'm most excited about probably. Right. So
yeah, and when precision agronomy kind of first came out, it was using that technology, and it was almost thought of more as more as an accessory or a cool little trick you could do.
Yeah.
But when it gets right down to the bottom line, because it's not free. Precision agronomy is not free. However, the investment you make in precision agronomy, you're going to see that savings in your fertilizer costs in other areas, and you're going to see that yield maximize, which is really going to in most cases more than pay for that precision agronomy.
I think if you go out and start with soil samples, and you can come up with a plan to say, not that you have to utilize that plan. I mean, if you think it's better to go out and just do some soil sampling, do some grids or some zones, and see what it will be. Then once you put the whole package together, identify the cost. And maybe it's not a variable rate technology at that point. If it's a flat rate across the field, at that point, you're probably better to go flat rate across the field. But I'm like you, a true believer. If you put that out there, you're probably going to either be at the same cost or maybe even saving some money in fertilizer costs when you're not putting that product over here, where it's not needed. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that about covers what we set out to discuss here, and that's just really how we're going to move forward, give the introduction to you, to our producers, since we haven't had the chance really to get out and talk much with all the craziness happening in the world right now, which, by the way, I have noticed, and I can tell you firsthand, is killing this guy to not be out and be able to talk to you all personally. But if you do have any questions or concerns, feel free to give Rusty a call. Give myself a call, any member of the senior team or the management team. We're all willing to answer any questions you have. And if we don't have an answer right then, we'll get you an answer for a question you may have.
Yeah, I apologize. I appreciate that because I do apologize. It has been a crazy 7 months since March in the COVID situation. So really looking forward to getting out to the operations and meet people as I can. I've met a lot of you already at our facilities, a few farm visits and stuff like that. But really looking forward to get out when things kind of, I don't know what normal means anymore, but when things get back to normal, we can get out and about, coming out and visiting with you guys, seeing what we can do to help you out and try to make you successful and at the same time make your cooperative successful. So,
well, Rusty, thanks for taking the time to visit with me today.
Absolutely. It's been great.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook using the handle @ProAgCoop, because we want to hear from you. At the end of the day, this whole PAC Talk series is for you. So if we can help you in any way, if you like the video, give us a like or a comment. Let us know what you think of the series and the direction we're kind of taking. If you have a topic you'd like us to cover or a specific question, even if it's just answering, we may have a Q&A on one episode, just kind of touching on some of those questions you may have. Shoot us an email, pactalk@progressiveagcoop.com. Or again, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter because we're putting all this information out as much as we can, as quick as we can.
Facebook live feed.
Facebook Live.
I think Chris, you excited for something like
I
that?
am. Actually, I'm really excited for this whole digital push we're taking right now. And getting that information out to the growers. We started years ago. It started with our texting system. That's been a long time ago. That's something we developed to make sure that we could get markets and other information out to people. And then we moved to the, pushed on our website, and we just had our web redesigned. Now we're really pushing on the social media so that we can get our information out to the growers as much and as often as we can, get them the best opportunity they have to succeed.
I'll throw a plug out there right now and stuff that's hopefully to come. We talked about excitement earlier, but we got something that Chris, you put together called the Titan system. Hoping we're looking at some different ways we can use that. It's an agronomy online, I don't know what I want to call it or what you'd call, I guess what would we call that, kind of a quote system.
It's an agronomy solution system.
Yeah.
So we can get, what it'll do at its core is allow our growers to go online, submit what the products they are, what they're needing, and then our salesman will come back with an answer, with a quote, with a price, a discussion, more than anything, a discussion with how we can help you, what products will be best for your needs. So that Titan system, we're looking at the end of September or even before, but be on the lookout for that, because we're going to put that on our Facebook and our Twitter and our website, and that's really going to be a powerful tool to put in the hands of our growers.
It will be. It'll be really nice. So things to come, exciting things to come.
PAC Talk is production of the Progressive Ag Co-op media team. It's the vision of Progressive Ag Co-op to build successful partnerships with our patrons, employees, and all we do business with to ensure Progressive Ag Co-op and our patrons' businesses are sustainable in this ever-changing agricultural landscape. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.